Alright, what's going on, MegaWhale team? Welcome to another video. We haven't done many videos this week. I've been quite busy, but obviously we'll jump on today and do a video. The market has been a little bit volatile over the last few days, and obviously the CPI numbers coming in at 7.5%, which was over the expected 7.2%, has caused a pretty significant sell-off market-wide for altcoins, Bitcoin, and stocks alike. So we're going to be taking a look at the Bitcoin chart today. As always, we are focusing more Bitcoin and more of the Bitcoin chart than altcoins for now. Once we do break $48,000, of course, or we reach our predicted bottom, which is 22,000 and 26,000, then we will start talking a little bit more about altcoins, because that's when we think the best time to be grabbing altcoins will be. So let's get straight into the chart. What are we looking at today? Well, we've had a pretty significant rejection here, guys. And if you remember our first, well, not our first video, but a few months ago, well, I should say January, we told you about that possible bullish February, and we have seen quite an explosive Feb so far. We saw a 25% push up in February alone, which is, well, I would definitely consider that very bullish. And thankfully, we actually capitalized on that move, and it is looking like we're going to be heading back down now. So what are we looking at? Well, we're basically looking at this black line here and this red line here. So we're going to just highlight on the chart this small zone over here. We'll be expecting some sort of possible bounce. This will be the last chance for us to bounce before 48k. So what I mean by that is we could come down, retest this zone, and push back up into this gray box for one final retest before we capitulate and head on downwards. And we would expect March to be very, very bearish. Obviously, with the inflation rate, some of that kind of interest rate rising stuff is going to send the market into a downward spiral, and we will bottom out somewhere in July, hopefully. So that is what we do expect to happen. Let's analyze the short term, because I guess the short term is quite irrelevant right now. With the market dropping, it's quite important to know what's happening on that shorter term time frame. So what are we looking at? Let's bring up the RSI. Like we said before, we saw a very significant drop on the Bitcoin chart over here, and of course, you know, we're seeing some kind of bearish divergence forming. It's always going to be quite a negative sign. So we had our decreasing RSI here, guys, and obviously our increasing price. It is obviously a bearish divergence, and with this thing, it did drop very quickly, guys. I'm not going to lie. It dropped based on those numbers coming out, and it was kind of hard to foresee. You could speculate based on what the numbers were going to be, and I don't really like to speculate. Personally, I prefer to react and act based on the data the charts are telling us. I'm not an investor, I'm a trader. At the end of the day, I don't really care for news and all that kind of stuff. I look at the data, I look at the charts, and if the charts are positive and favorable, I'll take the trade. If it's not, then I'm just going to wait it out. So right now, it is waiting out. I will be looking at some possible entries down in this zone. I do feel like this is the immediate short term, will be about $41,000 to $42,000. I believe that will be our immediate bottom for the short term. Like I said, we can definitely bounce here, or we could head on back down lower, but for now, that is what we're going to be looking at. So breaking it down to the 1 hour chart, you can see we did lose that 50 SMA. We got the 200-day moving average coming up, which will act as a little bit of support, and you can see it's kind of entering that range we were just talking about before, that $41,500 to $42,000 range. And we can see this range acted as a lot of support previously. A few days ago, about a week ago in Feb, it acted as support for about 2 whole days. So it's a very good chance we can, again, come down here, find support, and move up. But if we do lose this level, and we'll zoom out and show you this trend line, this is a very significant trend line in Bitcoin's chart. You can see it goes back all the way from November 2020, July 2021, obviously that retest January 22nd, and then the breakout point and retest in early Feb 22nd. So we can see this is a very critical level we need to hold, and I would say a very important level for us to hold. And if we do drop below that level, we can expect that what we would say March drop to maybe initiate and begin sooner than what we expected. At the end of the day, the time frame is kind of irrelevant. It's more about the direction, and obviously if we do drop down, that is what we would expect to see. So let's take a quick look at some of the technicals. All right, so what we're looking at here Again, we'll bring that to a 30-minute chart, and we'll bring up some of the, let's go Ichimoku Cloud to start with. Cool, so we're underneath the clouds, obviously, we're breaking that conversion line, baseline, underneath the baseline. Again, we would be looking for some sort of flip of that conversion line, or do you have a little bit of support here from the clouds? Unlikely to hold. Again, here we go, another bit of evidence. So suggesting that we could come down and retest and bounce off these clouds down here on the 4-hour chart. Again, over here, 6-hour chart, 12-hour chart, again. We're looking at the 12-hour chart, we had that sell signal, break of that conversion line, expecting a move downwards. If we break down to the larger time frames, 1-day chart, rejection on the Ichimoku clouds, still got that 50 SMA support underneath the 200-day moving average, overall still bearish. And it's very important to remember, this right here, what we're seeing, let's just get rid of everything for a second. This right here is a bearish trend, all right? We are in a downtrend still, all right? This is just an arrow. So we are still in a downtrend. You can see we're trending downwards still, all right? We need to get an uptrend, all right? So what we've had here, we've had a short uptrend, all right? A very short-term uptrend, but not a significant enough of a short-term uptrend to flip that overall downtrend still. So on the short-term time frame, we're talking like the 12 hours, 4 hours. Are we bullish? Yes. On the 1 hour, 2 hour, 30 minutes, are we bearish? Yes, we're going to go to 41,000. On the macro, are we bullish? No, we are still bearish. We need to flip $48,000. I've been saying it so many times, guys. $48,000 to indicate a potential move upwards, and then $53,000 to confirm that move upwards and to all-time highs. We break 53,000, we go to all-time highs. All right, we break 48,000, it's indicating the trend has been broken. Just because you break a trend, it doesn't mean we're going up. We need confirmation of a push higher, or we need confirmation of a retest of that trend line to support it. So what is happening now? Obviously, we just said we're going to be heading back down. The short term is bearish. I wouldn't be looking to buy altcoins. I wouldn't be looking to buy Bitcoin. I'd be waiting for that 41,500. We are pretty close, guys, and $42,000 zone for potential entry points for Bitcoin before we move back up. So guys, that is about it for today's video. Just a short update on what we'd expect and why the drop happened, and I guess how you can act in the next few hours or even the next day or two, depending where the price goes. Obviously, like I said, if we lose this trend line, our next logical destination would be these support boxes. So we got this support box here, 39,500 to 41,500, and if we lose that, we're going back down to 35,000. So you can look at my chart. I've said it almost every video. Look at my chart, guys. I'll zoom out again one more time for you guys to see it. Look at the chart. All right, take note of the levels. So I'm just going to zoom it out, screenshot these levels. You can see it on the side over here. All right, input this chart, all these lines, all these support and resistances on your own personal Bitcoin chart, and as an absolute cheat sheet to how to trade Bitcoin or expecting where the price to go. These are the best support and resistances you can have indicated. So again, gray boxes are resistance and support zones. All right, and then these are horizontal resistances. What is the difference? Horizontal resistance is a singular point, a price point, a singular price point that indicates significant resistance. A resistance or support zone is a zone, so an area of which historic price action has been relatively high, meaning there's a lot of selling and a lot of buying depending on what side of that support or resistance you're on. Anyway, guys, I hope you've learned something today. And remember, like, comment, and subscribe. We're nearly at 1,000 subscribers. That is awesome, and I thank everyone here for subscribing and being part of this journey together. And we'll catch you in the next video.